Watch this video if you are addicted to porn. Because I was in the same place as you, I was feeling down, I was feeling depressed, and I felt like my life had no meaning. I was making no progress, and I wanted to end it all. I know how you feel, and I have been there too. And now I have picked myself up from there. And I feel much more happier and much more pleasant and fulfilled than before. And in this video, I'm going to break down how I did it. So keep watching. Back in April 2023, in a hot summer night, I ended up relapsing more than one time, two or three times. And then I look at the ceiling. I was feeling depressed. I was feeling guilty, shameful, and anxious at what I have done. I haven't done anything productive in the day. And at the night, I was relapsing again. I was staying awake at night, not doing what I was supposed to do, not even trying to wake up early in the morning that I have promised myself the day before that I would no matter what wake up early in the morning, go to sleep in time. But I didn't even do that. Instead, I relapsed more than two times, three times almost. I felt extremely anxious. I feel depressed, and I felt so guilty that I have relapsed again. I felt like I'm not going to make any progress in life at all if I keep doing this. I was so depressed at it. I was so mad at myself for relapsing again. I told myself hundreds or even thousands of times that I wouldn't do this again. But there I was, looking at the ceiling, feeling depressed, doing the deed again, giving in to the urges. I broke the promise that I made to myself, and that made me feel extremely guilty. The fact that I'm still addicted to this thing made me feel extremely shameful. Instead of going out there and building a relationship with a real female, I was there alone in my room, depressed and anxious, and with a screen and virtual experience. I felt like there was a void in my heart, and I felt like my growth has just get halted because I just relapsed. What was I doing at that time? Why did I do that? Why did I relapse again? Why couldn't I control myself? I was so angry at myself for not having the self control to go and do the work and resist the urge to go and watch more addictive things. Why did I give in to the addiction? I was so mad at myself. I was so angry. And I felt so shameful and felt so guilty. I know you have been there too. I know you have tried to quit again and again and again, but failed and came back to the addiction. You halted your progress, you ruined your progress by going back to the addiction again and again and again. You told yourself that you would quit hundreds or even thousands of times, but you end up relapsing. You end up feeling guilty, shameful, and depressed. You are anxious at your social life, your loneliness, your experience of life. While other people are building real relationship, you are stuck here with yourself, giving into this addiction, boredom, loneliness, and stress. But the thing is, I did not lose hope. I had high hopes for myself. I was a high ambitious person, and I still am a high ambitious person, and my ambitions has grown even more than before. And for this reason, for this hope, I knew that I could pick myself up from this. I knew I could become successful, bring myself up from this rubble. And that's why I told myself, no matter what, I will improve my mental health. No matter what, no matter where I am. I will stop this, no matter what, I will stop these addictions. All of them. The vaping addiction, the video game addiction, watching entertainment content on the internet for no reason, wasting my time. Instead of doing what I need to do, wasting my time on garbage entertainment content that doesn't bring me anything positive. ROI, return on investment. I will quit all of them and I'll go full on self improvement, and I will improve my mental health. and I will improve my physical and overall health as well. But mental health is the number one priority, because if you don't improve your mental health, all of your other health are dependent on your mental health. Your physical health, like your body fitness, gut health, all of them are dependent on how good you have how good of a mental health you have, because you need mental health and resilience to work out, to maintain diet, to do everything else in life. You need a strong willpower and discipline to focus on the thing that you need to focus on to achieve the success that you want. And that is what I wanted from myself, and that is what I told myself I'm going to do no matter what. I know I'm not going to be addicted to this virtual screen. I know I'm not going to be addicted to this virtual screen, and I will push myself out of this addiction, and I will become successful, and I will achieve success, not just by beating this addiction but also in real life, and I achieve the high ambitious goals that I have. And if you are watching this, I know for a fact that you can also pick yourself up from where you are, beat this addiction, fight this addiction, and achieve the true joy of life, and find the fulfillment and joy of living your life, doing everyday tasks, and growing yourself. The joy in that you can also find it in future, hopefully. Don't let this addiction trick you otherwise, because I know you got this. You have me, bro, trust me. I will be cheering for you in every step of the way until you beat this addiction, and even after you beat this addiction, I have your back, brother. I will always be cheering for you so that you can achieve the goals you have in your real life. Now, before we can get into how you can beat the addiction, we have to discuss how you give in to the addiction and how urge get generated and how you give up to the craving. Because if we don't understand the fundamental of the addiction or the basics of this addiction, we are not going to be able to beat the addiction, if that makes sense. And I am using the word beat the addiction as in escaping the addiction, as in curing the addiction, because beating the addiction is not really a good term, but I will explain that later. So first let's talk about how urges get generated or how they come up in your brain. There is few reasons how urges get generated. Either you are in the moment not doing anything and feeling bored. So because you feel bored, to relieve the boredom, you start thinking about what I could get that could give me instant pleasure, that would relieve my boredom. And so what happens is that you think that porn is going to relieve your boredom. But that is the trap. That's how urges get generated. You start fantasizing about the scenes that you have watched in the past, which leads you to getting urge generated, or the urge gets generated first and then you watch and do the deed. And also thinking about the past, what you did in the past, and what fun things you had, or about some stressful situation and anxious situation you were in the past, could also lead to getting craving the sensation of relief or pleasure, which also leads to building of the urge. And if your urge gets built, you start going toward relieving the craving, relieving the urge, which is how you end up doing the deed again. Also fantasizing about future, or whether about future relationship or future what you are going to do in future, daydreaming, fantasizing in general leads to urge getting generated, which leads to you getting craving for watching and doing the deed. Well, there are intricate ways how this works, and just because you are ruminating the past or daydreaming about the future doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to lead to urge, but in general it does. So how do you fight the urge? Well, the number one way to fight the urge, which gets generated to daydreaming and fantasizing about future and past rumination about the past, is to be mindful, which in turn leads to you being mindful at the present moment. If you are mindful in the present moment, You, if when you start daydreaming or ruminating about the past, you will snap yourself back to the present and will focus on the present. And boredom, stress, and loneliness won't have a strong grip over you if you are being mindful. So for that you have to practice mindfulness. I noticed in my life, whenever I practice mindfulness, not only just I can beat the urge, but also everything else become easier. I can focus easier, which means I can get to the task as soon as I can, and then I can maintain discipline and use my willpower in the right direction because I have the focus in the first place. Because to have to use your discipline and to use your willpower, you need to focus first. But if you don't have mindfulness, how are you going to focus? How are you going to make yourself start the task? Because focus, that is what focus is. Focus is putting all your attention in one task, in your one work. That's how focus works. You start focus first, and then to maintain focus, you take the help of willpower and discipline. Whenever in my life I practiced mindfulness and meditated for 15 days, 30 days, my willpower and my discipline used to rise up way high. I, I could focus for way longer than I could before. And for that reason, focusing helps incredibly. Being mindful helps incredibly in beating and fighting the urges by being mindful on the present. Because you can stop your daydreams, you can stop your fantasies, you can stop your past rumination and anxious thought, depressing thoughts by being mindful and focused on what you need to do next. Because if you are mindful on the present, you will know what you have to do in the present, and ultimately, all we have is the present. Your past is gone. You have no control over your past, and your future is uncertain. You don't know. Only thing you have is the present, and being mindful and working in the present moment so that your future self can have a better life. That's all you have. And so, if you can focus on the present moment, be mindful on the present moment, and work, put in the work that needs to be done for your future self to be successful, so that your future self can have what you want. That is how you achieve success. That continuous, daily, consistent action is what is going to give your future self the success in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months from now. If you don't put in the daily, consistent work, you are not going to be successful. You are not going to achieve success. That is how it works, and this is why mindfulness is so important, bro. You have to be mindful. If you are not going to be mindful, you wouldn't be able to focus. And if you're not going to focus on your daily work, you're not going to be busy on your daily work, then this past rumination, the future, the daydreaming and fantasizing, these are going to take over your brain. Because lazy brain is the castle of Satan. So the devil will play with your mind, and you will end up relapsing again. You will end up getting urges in. You will end up giving in to those urges. So you must be busy. So you must be focused on day to day achievement, day to day success. If you can make your day successful, you can make your future self successful. And that big overnight success only comes through daily a small achievement, daily a small success. People don't see the daily a small amount of work you are doing. People only see the big result, whether it's your parent, friends, or whoever else it might be, your society, social circle. They don't see the small task, the small achievement you do every single day. They will only see the big result, which is fine. But you need to know that, and you need to put in the work. You need to know that if you don't put in the work every single day, you are not going to achieve that big success, which all everybody will be proud of. Because everybody is only proud of you when you achieve that big goal. Before that, they don't even understand what you are working on, why you are working so hard, regardless of what it is. Could be content creation, could be anything else, could be building an agency, could be starting a business that makes you 10K per month. Whatever it may be, whatever your goal may be, if you put in your daily consistent action, then you can hope for achieving the success in the long run. But if you don't put in the work every single day, you are not going to achieve that success. and that is the simple as that. And everybody is not going to believe you or have faith in you or even give you the respect you deserve because they are not going to see the everyday task you do. Their identity of you are not going to change unless you achieve that big goal, which makes your duty that you achieve that big goal. You earn those dollars and you get as rich as fuck as you want. And your goal might be totally different. It doesn't matter. The principles are the same. The principles of work and success are same. They don't change. And these addictions are really dangerous for your success because they sap your energy, they sap your motivation, which destroys your capability to work on what your dream and goals are. Just try mindfulness for 30 days and see what happened. Let me know in the comment if you have already tried or you're going to try the experiment of 30-day mindfulness challenge. Another powerful tip on top of that is working out, because working out boosts your mood, working out improves your mood, and it boosts your motivation, which boosts your mood even more. If your mood gets improved, if your motivation gets improved, you are more likely to work. And if you pair workout, exercise, and mindfulness together, they become a very powerful combo. And they can help you be mindful in the present moment, be feeling successful in everyday workout, everyday gym session, and then putting that on your work, that mood, improved energy, improved boosted motivation to pop in level. If you put that in your work, then your work gets even more improved. What do you think that leads to? Obviously, that leads to better work and better performance, which means your your chances of success gets even more higher. The more you work, the more you will get success. But the quality of work is also very important. Quantity and quality both are important. People like to say this, that quality is more important than quantity. No, 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 that is only when you have put up so much quantity that your quality automatically improves. But until then, until that high point, at this point your quantity and quality are equally as important. And if you work out, exercise, go to the gym or play a sport, your mood is going to improve. You're not going to be feeling as lonely, as stressed or anxious as before, and your depression will slowly go away, which will enable you to focus on your work, which will make you busy. And all of this combined, being mindful, being fit, and having improved mood, and being busy in your work, will help you beat the urges, will help you keep the urges behind your mind and let them sink away. You will ride through the urges like waves. They will peak and then they will fall and go away. You don't even have to react to them. You don't have to fab just because you feel like urges. The urge will go away. It will come, peak at like 15 to 30 minutes, and then they will go away. You wouldn't even have to react to them. Journaling also helps you. Well, I journal for mental clarity, clarity of thought, and ordering my thought process. But it does indirectly help you beat this addiction because it helps you focus and thought. It helps you focus and control your thoughts. And if you can think clearly, you can act clearly. And paired with mindfulness, this also becomes a very powerful combo because now you are thinking clearly as well as being mindful and focused on what you have to do on the present moment. And I have to be fully transparent here. I started self improvement and mental health improvement because I was thinking about business success. Because I knew to have business success, I have to improve myself. I have to gain mental clarity, mental strength, as well as physical fitness, which is why I started self improvement, which is most probably is also your dreams, your goals, either success through studies or making money through entrepreneurship. These are also probably your goals. So I started mental health and physical health improvement and self improvement in general for this purpose. And the reality is that these things actually helps you beat your addiction as well. Actually, well, beating your addiction is not like the correct term. You actually fight the urges, beat the urges, but you never actually beat the addiction like a final boss. What happens is that you get so good at ignoring the urges that it becomes second nature to ignore your urges. You don't even pay any attention to it. At it gets so you get to a such a high level in future that whenever urges hit you, you don't even pay attention to them. They just go away, and you start getting less and less urges because you don't react to the signal. You don't react to the urges, which is why you get started getting less and less urges. Even whenever you occasional urges hit you, you just ignore them, and that's how you win over the addiction in the long run, because you don't fully beat the addiction like a video game boss, but you win over it and cure your mind of reacting to it. Even if you get hit in the arse occasionally here and there, you don't react to it. You just sigh it away. And that is how you win over the addiction in the long run. You become mentally so resilient that the urges are like easy to control for you. You don't even have to react to them. But that is a topic for another day. So subscribe, like this video, and click here to watch the next video. Click now, click, 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 click now, click now, click now, click now.